Thank you guys for joining us. As you guys can see, numbers are great. I mean, there's almost 900 people in that chat, so there's lots of people who aren't here. We're going to be picking up the recordings. So, my name is Jay Bonham. Like I said, I am the #1 educator in GFU. I have anybody here who was part of the previous company. The reason I left that company was because I wanted to become a professional trader, because I wanted to take trading to a professional level, to grow and become a professional in what I'd been spending my time doing. And the other company didn't allow that. It wasn't something that they were going to allow me to do. And I decided that I was going to take this on and do this for myself. So I pursued becoming a professional trader. Okay. That professional trading opened me up to a whole bunch of possibilities. And I realized that there was a piece of me that really wanted to still impact, still trade, still have access to all these individuals who are looking for this opportunity, who are looking to build off trading, who are looking to learn this skill. And there was a big piece of fulfillment there for me that I wanted to make sure that I was still, because I was just like everybody else. I was just like everybody else on this call. I started, with no experience, no trading experience, no anything. And now I had taken that, 5 years of training and learning and losing and growing and all those things that are part of trading brought me to be a professional in this space. And now I think there's a lot of people in this space who are not professionals trying to teach, who might be marketers masquerading as traders when that's not really what they are. I am a professional. This is what I do. And there's a piece of me that wants to give everybody the opportunity to do the same thing I do, to take this to a different level, to make this something that you can provide and give to your family and trade a couple hours a day and live a different life. And that's what I want to do here for everybody. And that's the reason why I still educate. I don't need to. I could go sit in my corner of my room somewhere and just trade and be fine. And that's really what I could do. So what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about our new scanner. Okay. The new scanner has come from Killshot. So, like I said, Killshot on trend, finding trend, looking for our opportunities to join trend and get out. This scanner is calling what we call impulsive reversals. So we have something that's a part of our scanner, something that was called stars. Okay. And those stars essentially indicate higher highs, lower lows, but they indicate a potential reversal coming. And for a long time, the original use of these stars was to find my exit, right? Get into trade, lock it in, and find my exit. Okay. So that it then turned, and somebody who's very close, has been with me for a while, my man Marco, I don't know if he's here on the call, my man Marco from Italy, really started to use this thing in a different direction. And he used it predominantly in Bitcoin. He really took this thing, we used to call it the Marco star. And that's essentially what this was. He was waiting for a star, and then he was waiting for, 3 candles to print in the other direction, and he'd jump in. That provided too many losses for me. So while he was having really, really good success in Bitcoin, because of its impulsiveness, because of how fast Bitcoin could move, because he could jump in and protect and let these things run, it didn't quite work the same in some of these indices. Anybody here knows me, they call me the US30 Sniper. That is where I want to trade. And that it wasn't consistent enough. I didn't want to take a whole bunch of losses in a row. That wasn't what I was interested in. So we actually took the Marco strategy here, and there was another gentleman in our group named Robert. He started using this thing on US30 and having a bit of these different parameters. So we took it to testing. We spent some time with it. Okay. We spent some time with it and came up with some rules and some parameters on how this thing works. Okay. On how to use it, the practicing different, stop losses and take profits and trailing stops and all those things to give us the best results we could out of this, and to have consistent win rate, right? Not to have, when this market starts to trend, if you're jumping in at a star and 3 candles, you could take loss after loss after loss in a row very quickly, and your account could turn the wrong direction. So we added a few parameters to it to increase its probability. We found parameters to give us the best results we could. And then we brought it to the team. Now, I brought it to a handful of testers, and they've started to bring some of their own. We have Adam who's doing NAS, Adam, one of our educators here from Poland. Okay, we have Marco who's doing Bitcoin. We got Robert who's doing US30. And so we've had some people who are just in those spaces, just testing in those spaces to give us what we need to make sure that the strategy is going to be successful. One thing you guys will know about me is that I trade a very high level of volume and very high level of capital. I don't take things lightly. I don't throw something at the market and hope it sticks. I spend my time testing it. I spend my time putting in parameters, and I make it so that it can have the best possible outcome for anybody who wants to use it. And before anybody gets their fingers on it or their hands on it or any of that stuff, I'm gonna make sure that has been created so that we can all have the best results with it. Now, obviously, we're going to test and everybody's going to try different assets, and we're going to go more and more and more. And as a community, this is what we do in trading. We evolve. A lot of places in a lot of trading communities you get involved with, they've had the same strategy forever, and that's okay if the strategy pays that, sure. But I'm always constantly evolving. Okay, I'm always looking to evolve. I'm always looking to go to the next level. Okay, and so that's what we have here. We have the opportunity to trade at a next level with a brand new scanner that, kind of I had to open my doors a little bit to counter trend trading again, because I had literally eliminated them from my trading because they provided too many losses. And now with this scanner and the testing that we've had done with it, and with all the amazing coding and everything that Brant has done and been there for support, this now is something that we can bring to the team, and I can feel comfortable. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm just going to give you the basics. It was also in that video that I shared, okay, that I recorded and shared. There is some in there as well. We're going to go over a couple of things. Just another piece that I'm going to add to it. I'm going to essentially go over the same things that were in there. And then just a couple of things that you guys are going to have access to here for the next 5 days, okay? If you guys haven't filled out that form, then you probably haven't gotten access to the scanner. Make sure you fill out the form. It will be sent to your trading view. There will be a notification. Okay. We will work through that here the rest of the day. Okay. That form goes directly to my support that can give you access to that indicator. Okay. So for the next 5 days, I want you to have access to it. So we can trade it. We can test it. You can see what's happening in the boot camp. Even if you're not a part of our organization yet, I want you to be able to have access to the scanner so you can test it out and use it and see if it works for you. Okay. Second thing you're going to get is inside that chat. Now, the chat will probably start to get a little bit crazy as we all start to trade it. That's just the life of being in one of my communities, is that we all trade, we all win, we all get excited, we all share. So in there, in the mix of all of that, I know it might be tough for a week, but please pay attention in there. Okay. There will be Supernova alerts going into that chat. It was the only way for me to give access to you and not have to take it away from everybody and redo it again. So you guys will get access to the alerts from that panel too. They will follow certain times, volatility, those types of things in that chat. So try your best to pay attention, because that's going to go in there as well. Okay. We will do 5 of these calls. So you'll have 4 more of these all week. We'll have, each will be, 40 minutes to 45 minutes, maybe to an hour, depending on if you guys get me ranting or not. And I go off the trail, and anybody here who knows me can end with a good rant or two. But we are going to, focus on trying to get you to a position in the next couple of days, even if you're just rocking a demo account, to see the potential that's available with this scanner. Okay. That's what we're going to do for the next 5 days. You have Adam and Robert and Marco and Brant and Ash and all the people that have been with me for a long time to support you in that chat. Okay. So while I love you guys and I want to support everybody one-on-one, please, if you have questions about the scanner, go to the chat. You'll have better opportunity to get a response in there, because lots of people reach out to me one-on-one, and you guys can imagine how busy I am already. And then I got to reach out to people one at a time, hundreds of them. Right. So, yeah, so that's something that is available to you in that chat for the next 5 days. Please, there's a couple of things that we'll make sure we're here. We've already had issue with it, is that there'll be no spam in the chats. Okay. It'll be instantly blocked, removed, and out. Okay. This is for boot camp. After 5 days, that boot camp chat's going to be deleted. So make sure that we're going to use the most of it and do all those things. Okay. No spam. No, no bad negative energy. We're going to treat everybody with respect. I don't want to talk about opinions or these things or that. All I want is a positive community where everybody can learn to trade. They can ask questions. They can get support. I'm not going to deal with anything else. I'll give you one warning and then you're out. That's it. I don't want curse words. I don't want any of that stuff. That doesn't fly here. Our goal here is to help you learn the skill and the strategy and give you what you want. Okay. And give you that opportunity. I'm not, I have boundaries and I'm just not going to stand for it. So any of that, you're just out. Okay. And we will there will be coaches and there'll be people that are there to support you there. In that chat, you should have had access already. If you filled out that form, you should have access. So if you haven't filled out that form, and I knew we were going to get these conversations, if you haven't filled out that form and you haven't filled out, if you haven't filled out that form and given your trading view, then it's not the ability to get access. If you have filled it out, you'll get it today. Okay. So let's rock and roll here. Okay. Let's get onto this chart. Let's talk a little bit about the pieces of this thing. Okay. I don't want to happen too quick, but it would have been a good trade with a few pips in it. You'd have had to protect against it. Very impulsive. This one, a nice little 50 pip drop on that one candle. Okay, so let's talk about what this does. Okay. Then just ask in that chat and Brant will help you out. Okay, let's talk about what this is based off of. Okay, I'm going to type this up on the screen and we're going to talk about, I mean, this sell was just out of control. It was a little bit outside trading time, but we're going to talk about this sell and how it ran all the way down here. But we'll talk about what this chart does. Okay. Okay, so this is what our signals based on. Okay, so if we are looking for a sell, okay, this is what your sell signal is based on. It is based on, okay, first thing you need to see is a red, it's not going to get down there. Okay, red star. Okay, so the first thing we're looking for is this red star. Okay, these red stars, as you know, supernova, that's what the supernova stands for because it's based on the movements off the stars. The first thing we're looking for in a cell is a red star. Okay, so the red star must populate. Now, these red stars can move. So in order for us to find a position where these red stars have stopped moving, we need some other confirmations for it. Okay, so the next confirmation, the first thing you want to see, red star. Okay, so you get your red star. The second thing you want to see, okay, is 3 consecutive candles. On the red star, we call this 3 black crows. I can spell. Okay. 3 black crows within 10 candles of that star. So once again, we're going to keep talking about these things where we're talking about impulsivity. Okay. We're talking about, we want to see this thing because most of the time these trades are going to come counter trend. Right? They're going to come against what the market has been doing maybe longer term. Okay. It's going to come against it. So we want to know that the chart is about to impulse back in that direction. Okay. So we need to see 3 black crows, which is, okay, 3 red candles. Okay. Okay. 3 red candles within 10 candles of the star. Okay. Okay. This will be your sell signal, right? And you can see right here. So we have this red star. It can include the candle that the star is on. Okay. And then we need to see 3 red candles, right? So you see the red star and you see 1, 2, 3 candles. That means that star has got a pretty good chance to stop moving. Okay. So that means it's got a pretty good chance for this thing to reverse. Okay. 3 black crows are 3 red candles. Okay. It's just a candle. It's just a candle term. Okay. That's what this is. 3 red candles, 3 black cross. Okay. And you can see this happens literally as the star populates. Star probably populated here. Okay. You got the 3 candles, but you didn't get the last one. Star probably populated here. You got the 3 candles, but we didn't get the last one. As you can see, if we weren't waiting for our last confirmation, right, we would have taken a loss here, would have taken a loss here. And then this one gave us our confirmation that it was ready to go back the other direction. Okay. So 3 candles. See this candles right here? Let me just draw it for you. We'll zoom in. You guys can see them. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see these candles, right? We have the red star, then we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is our secondary confirmation. That's something that needs to happen right after the star. Okay. Okay. Yes, the 3 candles need to be in a row. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's what 3 black crows means. And I'll just put that in here. Okay. 3 candles. If it'll let me. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3 candles in a row within 10 candles of the star. Because if it doesn't happen within 10 candles of the star, it's probably happening too late. And you're not getting that full impulsive move, which will probably happen. You'll probably get a pullback and it'll head back up in that same direction and give you a loss. Okay. So you need to see, okay, this this red star, 3 black crows, which is 3 candles in a row within 10 candles of the star. Okay. Now, the last thing you need to see is a break. Okay, a break. And close of the 50 EMA. Okay. So the signal actually populates after you get the impulsive move. You get this star, you get these 3 candles, you get this impulsive move. Okay. Okay, you get these impulsive move. And then you, okay, and then that's when you get that signal, right? You can see the sell signal comes. Okay. You can see this sell signal comes. There's a bunch of pips on the board to here. You can see it continues down. And as you can see, you had a nice run from that sell signal all the way down to here. Okay. Okay, so let's go and find, we have a buy signal there as well, but let's find a better one. Okay, so and here is the supernova signal for a buy. Okay. Just let me do it. Now let me move this around like it's supposed to. Okay, so let's talk about this buy that runs here. Okay, so our supernova signal on a buy. Okay. 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 Okay, I'm just going to do this for try not to have to type this all out again because it's for a buy, it's just the opposite. Okay, for a buy. Okay, you get a green star. Okay, this is what we call the next one is what we call 3 white soldiers. That's the term for 3 green candles. Okay. Okay, and it has to come within 10 candles. So it's exactly the opposite of the sell, right? As you can see, we get this big old push here. Okay. Okay, so you get this big old push, you get a green star, then you get 1, 2, 3 candles, you get a break of the 50, and then off it goes. Okay, so that is your signals, okay, for your sell and your buy. Okay, we're gonna just screenshot that, which I'll share in the chat after. Okay. Okay, let's see any questions before we move on. Okay. Okay. We're going to take every signal for now. I'm not going to be answering those other questions in their mats. We're just on boot camp right now. So you want to ask if you want to ask that. No. No, you only need 3 candles in the same direction. Okay? 3 candles. Right? So 3 candles of the 10. That has to happen within those 10 candles, but it has to be 3 in a row of the same color inside those 10 candles. You'll never get 10 candles in the same. If you do, you probably shouldn't take that trade because it's about to reverse, because that's just impulsive. And as I showed you, right, you got 1, 2, 3, but then they're all red, 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 right? And so they don't have to be the same color. You can talk about the sell, right? The sell we're talking about, okay? Let's do this. Where's sell go? Right? You can see this happened before, and then it broke after, right? They had a bunch of blue candles in the middle, but then broke after. And you can see it ran for a quick couple little pips there at London and then reversed. But you can see you got the red star, 1, 2, 3 candles. Then there was a bunch of blue candles. Then it broke the 50, right? Okay. That makes sense. Then it's not a valid signal. It's not a valid signal. If there was a red candle in between here, then it's not valid. It means there's still sell volume sitting in it. It wouldn't be valid. Right? Like just like this one. Green, red, 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 green, green. It's not valid. It's not impulsive enough. Okay? Just message in the chat. We'll get it sorted out. Okay? All right. So those are your signals. That's how we're going to take these signals. Then we're just going to go over a quick little risk reward. Okay, now that I screenshotted that, I'm going to delete this off. Okay, and we're going to go over a quick little risk reward so you guys can start to use this. Okay, that's what the signals are from. You got your demo account. We start to use it. Okay, and then that'll essentially be our call for today. I'm going to show you kind of how to use it. Okay, maybe we'll ask a couple questions at the end. Most of your questions that you're asking are gonna get covered in the bootcamp. You're welcome to ask them sooner, of course, but most of the questions you're asking are going to get covered as we move along through the bootcamp. Okay, so I'm just going to give you another basic. So that's how the signals work. Now I'm going to give you another basic of risk reward. We are going to go into risk reward in more depth. Okay, talking about when we go to BE, talking about those types of things. Right now, I'm just going to give you the parameters. Okay. I'm just going to give you the parameters, okay, of what you can use. Okay. Yeah, so this is a bit of a you called it, right? We got the 3 candles happened after. I wouldn't take this signal didn't validate properly, as you can see. You got your 3 candles up here, then it pulled back and then it broke it again. So we wouldn't want that one. But yeah, that's something that needs to be fixed. It's because it didn't break the 50 until the 3 candles happened after the 50. So that's why you got a little bit of a different move there. Okay, so let's talk about our risk reward just so you can use this thing. Okay. Okay, let's just go back to this sell and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about why we need to use this. Now, anybody here who's traded with me before, I am a scalper. I like to use very small stop losses. Okay. They don't survive in this type of move usually because it's counter trend. Okay, because it's counter. And because it's counter, it may pull back on you again before it heads in that direction. Okay. So we need to give more space. Okay. Just wait for the signal. You don't need to jump in after. Okay. Bootcamp recordings will be in the Telegram chat. Yep. Wait for the 3 same color after. No. No. Why would you do that? Just wait for the signal, man. Okay. Okay. So Your risk reward parameters still need to be 1 to 2. Okay. They need to be 1 to 2. Okay. That is how this works. Okay. It does have a very high win rate, and we'll show you guys how to use kind of a BE later on here, which is going to bring your win rate even more up. Okay. In October, the win rate was 80%. Okay. This thing has an 80% win rate with these parameters. Okay. So these are the parameters you're going to use. You want to have an 80% win rate. You're going to take some losses, but it has an 80% win rate. And yesterday, last week was a prime example. It had a negative Monday, very small negative Monday. It had a positive Wednesday or a positive Tuesday and a fairly negative Wednesday. Okay. Okay. And then on Friday, or then on Thursday and Friday, it had huge days, hundreds of pips days, because the other ones were kind of slow, because it has to make that win rate up. That's why we continue to stay in these parameters and trade it. Okay. We will be showing you a little bit of a break-even strategy if you don't like to take losses and you like to kind of just scalp and take your wins. Okay. But our parameters are 50 pips, 50 pip stop loss, 100 pip TP. Okay. So we are going to go over these more, okay? Over these more. Once we move on, we'll go into things more depth in a little bit more depth. I'm just trying to give you guys a kind of a basic overview of this thing so you can use it. Okay. And I'll tell you, if you guys are trading a different asset, if you want to use it on NAS or you want to use it on gold or you want to use it on Bitcoin, the parameters are different. Okay. So this is for US30. Everybody knows me. It's my baby. This is where I spend my time. This is why they call me the US30 Sniper. I've never had to go to any other pair. Okay. Okay. So the US30 risk reward, it won't let me see this freaking. Oy vey. Okay, so my computer's going to start to do something weird here, so just hold on a second. I was trying to get to the chat, but it wouldn't show it to me. Okay, so our risk reward is a 50 pip stop, and I'll show you why. Okay, there's other ways to use it if you're using, okay, we're going to 50 pip stop. Okay, and 100 pip TP. Okay, so I'm really trying to get to the chat, but it won't let me do it, so I'm sorry. There we go. There we go. You see, we got some people using this thing. Okay. I see lots of people are in there. NAS, it works amazing on. And if you need any little help with NAS, hit up Adam. He uses a smaller stop loss in NAS. I think it still needs a little bit bigger, but he's using a smaller stop loss in NAS and kicking butt. So make sure you ask in the chat, David. Okay. And I'll show you. And I'll show you why we need to have those stops. Okay. As you can see. Okay. Is because sometimes this wants to pull back to support areas. Because this is counter, right? This chart wants to pull back to support areas, right? You can see 50, 100 if you held these parameters, maybe protected at the break of that 238, you got 80 to 90 pips on the board here, right? Okay. But you can see because it's counter, sometimes it wants to pull back, right? And as you can see here, you got that, needed to break the 50, and it didn't pull back after the signal, but sometimes it wants to pull back to those support areas, right? Just to grab one last little piece of volume and then head in that direction. Now, we'll work on maybe using a pullback strategy on this as we get better and better and better with it. But for now, you need to have a little bit of bigger parameters because you have to be able to, right, wait to survive that pullback. Okay. Right. You have to be able to survive that pullback. Where can we show you this thing? This one didn't come. Right. This pulled back up. And I think this is going to head back down. But sometimes, and these ones aren't even showing it, so a smaller stop loss would have worked in some of these. But these are our parameters we want to use. Okay. We want to make sure that we're giving it enough space if it wants to pull back and grab volume one more time, that it's not going to wick out our stop and then head in that direction. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, we can shift to NAS. I just wanted to show you this. Okay. No currencies. We have not used it on currencies or metals. Okay. 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 We haven't used it on currencies or metals. So we're in the beginning of it. I'm an indice trader. I love US30. I like gold, right? And it does work very well on gold. And I can show you gold. We'll show you NAS today. NAS was, and so look at Tycho's using it on Euro USD. So Tycho's going to check it out on a bunch of pairs for us, right? But as long as they're high volume assets, right? Because we need impulsive moves. We're looking to find that impulse and get in on it. So it has to be an impulsive move. It has to have volume to be impulsive. Lots of these pairs that don't have high volume will slowly trend the same direction for a while, right? And you got to hold those. Those are the ones you can hold for days and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, but it does work great on gold. I'll show you on NAS, right? And Adam, I think Adam's using a 25 pip stop. I still think you should use a 50-100, but let's go look at what NAS did today as it's swinging. Okay, so let's go look at what NAS did. Anybody want to see what this thing did on NAS today before we go? So just remember those are your risk reward parameters, okay? And we'll share that in the chat for everybody. All right. Okay. Look at this thing. 5 o'clock is when our good volume comes. We want to be in good volume time. So usually I put this on top of Killshot and it gives me my little volume. But if you look, right, at 5 o'clock is when volume picks up. You mean the sell in here was okay, and there was a little buy that would have had it, but 5 o'clock is when we're looking for volume. Look at these trades today. Right? Good came here, right at that 50. And we can it just swings back and forth on days like this. Look, 70 pips there, right? It's had 5 signals today, and every single signal has gone into profit on NAS. Right? Long position right here. A break of the 50 had 40 pips in it. Not 238. We'll talk about the 238 and how we should protect against it. Right? But you can see then it goes right into a sell. Right? There was 30 pips on that. Then it goes into a sell here. Right? Okay. 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 All the way back. Okay. Look at these trades. Look at these trades swing. Guys think you could take one of these and make some money today? Look at these trades. 100 pip TPs all over the place. Look at these things. Past it. 100 pip there. 100 pip here. Right? And then look at these. There wasn't a loss. Every single one of these had pips in it. Every single one. Look at them. Holy crap, Nas was on fire today, baby. This is the power of these impulsive reversals. Because usually we're waiting for the EMAs to cross or to break a 238 or to break those things, right? Like let's say you're using 1% risk, right? You're using 1% risk. Let's just add up the pips today. Say you're using 1% risk, you went to a small break even. Okay, 1% risk at 50 pips. None of these hit a 50 pip stop. So let's just say we're just basing it on, say we took 50 here, say you took 20 there, right? Because you're protecting against that 238. That's right, even though there's 70 in the board. Let's say we took 50 there because we're trailing. You took 20 there, that's 70. There was 100 here, so 170. There's 100 here, 270, 100 there, 370, and now you're up 80 here. So 450. Essentially, there was 450 pips on the board. Okay, 450 pips. So you're using a 1% risk at 50 pips. That is a 10% day. It's 9% day. 9% day on NAS today. Just today. I'm still using 50, but I know that Adam's using a smaller stop. Yeah, NAS is using Adam's using a 25 pip stop at 100 pip TP, so he's doing a 1 to 4. Okay, Adam uses the 25. Yep, 100%. So, but a look at it. I mean, it didn't even hit the 50. I mean, it might have caught one of the 25s close, but still, right? Like you need one of these trades for a good week. And it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 0 today. 6 and 0 today. There was pips in every trade. And if you're using a 1% risk at 50 pips, you just need a 50 pip TP to get your 1% for the day, which is more than which is what the best traders in the world get. Oh yeah, works on crypto too. Um, Marco would be crypto, but we can go over and show you guys. We'll show a couple of the assets today. This is going to be nuts when this loads. Yeah, so I mean, look at Bitcoin, right? 5 o'clock came. This was just before 5, I think. Yeah, just before 5. So we waited. Open came. I mean, down, up, down, up. This down, you might have taken a little bit of a loss on, but it's right back into it again. And if you held it, it would be in blue now. It would be if it would be 1, 2, 3. You might have taken a loss on that one. So I'd say 1, 2, and 1, 3 and 1, 4 and 1, depending on how you held that or what the parameters were. I would like it to be back behind the 238, which we'll talk about, but smash. Marco's been killing it. This thing was originally, um, originally created the first time we ever used this thing, or was Marco using this in Bitcoin? He did 2,700 pips last week in one day. One day, riding this thing on its uptrend. So it works here, right? Works in crypto. Okay. And let's just go over here and look at gold. Gold was good here early. It's gotten into a little bit of a stalemate here, but it's gotten into, there was good trades in gold as well. My magic arrow didn't play out very well, as you guys can see my magic arrow from this morning. Boo. Okay. But as you can see, short little one there, you would have taken a loss. Sell, pips, buy, pips, buy. There was a few pips in the buy, but looks like it would have been a loss. Sell, big win. Buy, loss. The next buy, win. Sell, yeah, look at them. 1, 2, 3 in a row. It's going to come back to this one, for sure. But works in gold as well. Signal comes at the break of the 50. Yes. Okay. And we'll go over more of these assets through the week. Okay. Through the week, we'll go over the assets a little bit more. We'll give you guys a little bit more specific to it. Right now, it works. We know it works really well on Bitcoin and US30. Okay. Adam's doing really well on NAS. So, and we need a little bit more testing on gold. But as you can see, gold can work out as well. So it's calling these impulsive moves. And if you're, you're getting into these moves and maybe break even as well, there's lots and lots and lots of opportunities.